morning, everybody. How are you? It's coffee time with your coach. Today's Tuesday, and it's absolutely beautiful outside today. The snow is just glistening, and there's a tad of sunshine out there, and it just makes everything sparkle, and it's just beautiful. I'm getting a little bit later start on this morning, but I didn't want to go through the day without bopping in and saying hi to you guys, and talking about just one quick little area that I want to focus on. And I'm wondering if you have ever heard of a paradigm shift. I talk to a lot of my clients about paradigm shifts because so many times how we perceive things are based on our childhood or the beliefs that we have that were formed in us very early in age before we had a choice to rationalize. So many of the things that we believe, unless we check in with the Bible, we don't even know if those beliefs are true, or we don't even know if those are the beliefs that God's intending on us to have. Some of us are born with absolutely wonderful parents. Some of us have the worst and a very hard childhood. But the thing is we are all individuals, and it is all our responsibility to learn the ways, the correct ways of seeing things and believing in things. And there's a Bible, and it's the Bible of truth, light, and it's something you can go to at any time during the day. And so anytime that I'm leaning towards one way, sometimes I need to check in with myself and see, is that the way I'm supposed to be believing? Is that what I'm supposed to be thinking? A paradigm shift is when all of a sudden the light bulb goes off. You're in a grocery store and you see a mother and her children are acting up, and they are just being tyrants in this grocery store, screaming, yelling, pulling things off the grocery store. Okay, this is just an example. We are told not to judge. And so this is why it's another very important thing to figure out the paradigm, figure out what's truth, figure out what's real. And for me, when I see this, my heart goes out to this mother. I can see the exasperation in her face, how tired she is. I remember those days, folks, and none of us are perfect. And I can notice in the grocery store other people's faces with their eyes rolling, and they're aggravated, and they're like, geez, woman, just do something with your kids, blah, 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 blah. Okay, the scenario goes like this. A lady goes up to talk to this woman who's just totally exasperated. She's aggravated with the woman. She's like, do you think you can tone your kids down just a little bit? And the woman's like, oh, yeah, I am so sorry. They just ended up losing their father in the hospital this morning. He just passed away, and I'm sorry, my head's not really with it, and my kids are really hurting right now, so I'm very sorry. There is the paradigm shift. We don't know what's going on in another person's life. We don't know what their heartaches are, what their pain are, and it is so very important that we don't snap to judge, that when things are not fitting into our perfect little world, that doesn't mean that the other person is not suffering. And like I've told you guys a million times, that we are not perfect. None of us are perfect. We are never going to be perfect till we get to heaven. And there are things that we do that aggravate other people, just as there are things that people do that aggravate us. But you know what? We have to think about the other person. We do not know what they are going through. Paradigm shifts are so important too when we're reaching and we're heading for our goals, because our belief could very easily be, I'm sorry, I can't even talk. Our belief could very easily be, no, I can't do that. The first time we see something difficult and hard, it could just be, oh, no, I could never do that. What would you do if you had a paradigm shift, and every time you heard yourself saying, oh, I can't do that, you switch it to, I can do that? Say it with me right now. Say it with me. I want you to feel what it feels like, the change in your head that you experience by just switching I can't to I can. So I want you to say, I can't do that. Say it with me. I can't do that. And right now I want you to say, I can do that. I can do that. It is possible. I can. So today I want you to focus on all these negative thoughts patterns that you're going through your head. And if you want to think back about, well, maybe how or why I started getting these beliefs to begin with, go ahead. But it's not anything you have to do. You don't have to know why you have these beliefs. You don't have to know, oh, I got this belief because my great grandma on my mom's side of the family made her believe this, and then she put this on me, and blah, blah, blah. Really, everything in our past is done and over, and it's in our past. It's what we do today. It is what we do this very minute that changes our life. And it's our walk with God and our decision on this day that we are going to follow Him and His word and what He tells us to do. Hey, listen. We have all done it the wrong way. We have all done it the wrong way. We have all learned very hard lessons in our youth. Some of you are learning very hard lessons right now. Hey, I've been there. I have made some very poor choices in my lifetime. But thank God that He still loves me and He still sees my worth and He still shows me the right way. And it's all up for experimentation. The only light side we have in this whole thing is that we have the opportunity to pray to Him at any time and get the answers. And if the answers don't come right away, then we can go to the Bible and see what is it that you think that He's trying to tell you. But it really does help with your choice making when you're going to Him first and finding out, wow, what do you want me to do in this situation, Lord? What is it you want me to believe? What is it you want me to do? What action do you want me to take? And it really saves you from some serious heartaches down the road. Impulsive decisions can lead to very, very detrimental, sad areas in your life that can take a lifetime to overcome and a lifetime of healing if we don't spend the time that we need to focus on the right choice. Don't spend a lot of time on it to where your decision making is poor and you can't make a decision. Don't do that, but try and make the correct one by following Him. Try to focus on your paradigm shifts today. Try and listen to any of that negativity that pops up in your mind. Anything that's negative, switch it around. Do a paradigm shift right then and there. Whether it's I can't to I can, or I'm hurting to I'm happy, or just do a shift. And remember to have, mercy on our fellow brothers and sisters, because we don't know what they're going through in their life. Just like that girl in the grocery store who wasn't paying any attention to her children, who were being very hyper and throwing things off the shelf and screaming and yelling. People were getting very aggravated. But what was the real story? The real story that was just a half an hour earlier, those children had lost their father in the hospital. We don't know what's going around people. We don't know what's happening in their lives. So have some grace and some mercy and love for them. Gosh, I just know you've got this, you guys. I love you guys. Have a beautiful day and God bless. Talk to you tomorrow.